Well, good evening, folks. Hope you're well. Relatively brief video because I've got stacks of things to do, but I do a video every day. I hope you like them. At least get something out of them, even though you're maybe doing your nails or washing the dishes with your headphones on, whatever you do. I'm here to keep you company for a short while. Um, when I have nothing better to do, which is quite rare, um, I look out for on the internet. I don't watch television generally unless I'm watching Game of Thrones, which is quite an amazing series. Um, but apart from the sort of binge watching things like uh, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, that sort of thing, yes, um, I generally don't. But I do watch the internet a fair bit in my time, and one of the things that I find I'm looking for chewing gum, mental chewing gum, really, something to just chill out and listen to that's going to make me smile, not so much get me angry. It's bad for your health. But one of the programs I like to watch in between being normal is Judge Judy Scheindlin, this Jewish 5'2" powerhouse. I've said it before, I think. And I watch, the defendant and the plaintiff come on in, and I think this will be interesting. And it's quite a good show if you haven't seen it, Judge Judy. And I just find now, after the period of watching them, many of them, much to my wife's irritation and piss take, quite frankly, she thinks I've lost the plot. But I'm doing research. That's my excuse. One of the conclusions I've come to watching Judge Judy is that America is lost, quite frankly. I think it's been lost for a long time. I think America has gone down the toilet and it's never going to come back. And yes, they're the greatest fighting nation in the world. They're the biggest armed forces in the world because, as I said before in my previous videos, there are three heads to this beast that controls the world. One is the war or battle, this beast with three heads. The first one is the enforcer, yes, the school bully, that's America, okay, and the world's aggressor, without doubt. It's a bit like the A-Team, if you like. If you want something doing, call the Yanks in. Yeah, they'll do it. There's so much cannon fodder they can use because of the sheer numbers of young men that get recruited, and women. And then the other part of the beast, of course, is the financial backup, the money, because the war takes money. And that's the Bank of England, the Rothschilds Jewish cartel. And then we have, of course, the religious ones that they pray for you before they go and send your children out to get killed in wars. It's the Vatican. So there's three heads to the beast of this running this world, and that's what it is, the three-headed beast. And that's the way it is. But we also have to grasp, folks, very quickly, is that, yes, just watching Judge Judy will give you a flavour of a cross-section, really, of people. Old, young, different education levels. Believe it or not, I mean, it's staggering how thick, and I mean this quite sincerely, folks, as Huey Green used to say. You might not remember him. I can't believe how thick most Americans are. The 27 available inoculations that are thrust down into their arms, notice they're thrust down their throats, that too. The insane dribble that's on the TV interspersed with, well, it's not actually, it's not television entertainment, it's adverts interspersed with a program now and then, or a little snippet of a program. There's another advert and another advert. They advertised pharmaceuticals all the time on American TV. You can't find an American TV channel without hasn't got an advert. Lots of them, lots of TV channels, but they're all adverts. And then we get the evangelists, hallelujah, them prancing around the stage, ripping the Americans off and believing them, making them believe that there's an imaginary friend called Jesus and he's going to save you all. I do a lot of channel flicking. I've been to the States 3 times in my life, and each time I've hated it, absolutely. I've never felt so paranoid walking down the streets. You know, I can guarantee that there's panhandlers everywhere. There's beggars. They don't have psychiatric hospitals. They kick them out on the streets. They kick them out of the prisons into the streets. You just don't know who you're walking by. You know, don't go to San Francisco, for Christ's sake. You can't walk around there without standing on needles and syringes and things, and it really is that bad. And every 4th car's had its window put through last night. This is how bad it is, and this is the great America. Well, they can stick it where the sun don't shine, because if that's democracy and that's America, they're welcome to it. I really hate going there, and I won't go there anymore. I've made my mind up. And when you look, though, but one thing we have to understand, us plebs, well, us enlightened ones, us plebs on the ground, I suppose, is that we are in Third World War. We keep saying when the Third World War starts, we are in it. The Third World War started almost immediately the second one finished. That's all. So we are deluded and delusional if we think that, well, when's this third war going on about starting then, Dave? We're in it. Newsflash. And the Nazis, most of them, shot off to America. That's the Operation Paperclip, of course, with all the Nazis going off to NASA and various other places. But the money men involved in Germany, yeah, it's all about the money. Yeah. They pissed off, didn't they, as well? They were taken away. Excuse me. Oh, beg pardon, I can't edit out. The money men, of course, fled throughout the world, and the SS, you know, even Mengele and all these others, they went off to Mexico, etc., and various other places to continue their nefarious little activities. And the war continues because it is the Germans are still at it. And Britain is heavily under attack, quite frankly. If you look even now from the Germans in places like Strasbourg and, well, the European Union is fundamentally run by Germans. Okay, and there are German Secret Service and there are German spies, and we are continually at war. Behind the scenes, MI5, MI6, all these other little MIs, it's a complete battle. One thing we don't understand and don't seem to grasp, folks, is that Britain is in bed with Russia, quite frankly. Now, I don't have a truck with Russia. I quite like Putin. I think he's a real gentleman as far as Russians go. And I did a talk about the gulags of Archipelago. Edited and brought forward by Jordan Peterson, Professor Jordan Peterson. But we have to grasp, but what the world we see isn't what we're living in. You and I might know that, but there's plenty of people out there just living in blind ignorance. But sometimes, folks, ignorance is bliss, isn't it? What's the point of knowing all this, really? It doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. We're impotent, really, in anything we can do. You know, we are informed idiots, really. That's all. Compared to the other idiots, we're just informed. But there's one thing is that you have to be aware, but there's sometimes ignorance is bliss. Sometimes I envy people who don't know. You know, the turkeys don't know that Christmas is coming, do they? But we do. So who's the happier turkey? Is it better to live in ignorance? Sometimes. Depends what fate is going to, you know, we can all drop dead the next 10 minutes, can't we? So just get on with it. Get busy living, get busy dying, as they say. Shawshank Redemption. And I often wonder whether all this conspiracy awareness, if you like, that's probably a nicer word, investigative awareness, whether I'm doing myself a disservice. Because there are times that what I discover thoroughly pisses me off. Because there's nothing I can do about it to rectify the situation. You see? But the problem is that the man who knows is no better off. The man who knows and does nothing is no better off to the man who doesn't know. In fact, the man who doesn't know is probably happier. Happy in his ignorance. Happy as a pig in shit. But I could be that pig in the shit thinking, I've got to get out. I've got to get out of this place. But it doesn't make me any happier being aware that I've got to get out. In fact, it makes me terribly frustrated that this is my lot in life. There's not a lot I can do, but I can at least be aware. But where's that got most people? Being aware that they're prisoners. You know? And some people like being prisoners, don't they? Some people don't want to know the truth because they can't handle the truth. Well, if you get the truth, can you handle the truth, or will it just depress the hell out of you? Oh, I wish I'd never known. It's like trying to learn how happy you can be. Take a look at what you could have had. I've said that a lot. You know, there are people out there, folks, you know, you try to work out what will make me happy. Sometimes I don't know what makes me sad. You know, we have good days, bad days, but I think sometimes when I'm in a bit of a downer, it's not that I'm a manic depressant. It's that I don't understand, and I can't understand why I can't be as happy as those people over there who are seemingly very happy and jovial and, you know, brokers church mice, so it's not a money thing. Maybe they are happy in their ignorance. I mean, this is the point, isn't it? You talk about seize the day. But sometimes I wish I didn't know. And sometimes I just think I should stop this conspiracy stuff, because the more I find out, the more depressed I get, because I realise just how bloody deep the rabbit hole goes. And I suppose when you analyse it, that the people who are doing all this at such a high level, some of the snidey little things that are played on human beings, whoever or whatever planned that, historically, they either live for a long time, much longer than us, which would make them non-human, or they pass it on from generation to generation. I think it's both. I think that there are groups of things, I don't know what to call them, but I have a strange feeling they're called hypercapensis. These are non-human entities with extremely large, they've got like a pumpkin head shape. It's not ribbed, it's just a big round head. Okay? And with an intellect, you know, it's far greater than human. Because I think the devious way in which this world is managed, I don't think even humans have that ability to be that clever. I've met lots of clever people in my life that I would consider very, 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 very bright. But not even they would be that devious. The grand plan of how we've all got to where we're at has been so devious and so wicked and so evil, and it is inhumane. And that makes me feel that the hypercapensis, the bigger heads, the big heads, don't really give a shit. They're positively evil. They have no empathy. They see us as cattle and playthings, of course they do. And they are directing the show. You will obviously never see them, but there is rumour that there are hypercapensis, a couple of which work in the Pentagon. What a surprise. And they are out of sight. There's also rumour that there's a hypercapensis in the Vatican. That wouldn't surprise me. There's several of them on the planet. But they run the show. They direct the show from the dark. These are what they call the hidden hand. This is what David Icke goes on about, the hidden hand. The evil ones that are directing the show, and they control the minions below them. We think when we see the world leaders that these are the top of the tree. They're not. They're way down the pecking order. You know, the 27 families that rule this world or this planet or finance it, they, well, historically you could argue that they're the offspring, ultimate offspring, you know, the latest offspring, if you like, of the fallen angels, as we discussed before. But the hypercapensis are off-world folks, and they are here anyway. They've been here for a long, long time. And they're running the show. And that's why nothing seems to change. Nothing. We will always, always, always have wars. Death, destruction, disease. Okay, we're never going to have the paradise that we all seek. The rest. We don't get a rest from it 1 minute to the next, do we? The news is such bad news. They cut it up into 10-second slots of bad news. And at the end of it, they come out with, oh, by the way, Dolly the sheep's okay. She's had a baby, you know. Oh, have a nice weekend. Bye-bye, folks. And off they go. As though it's like kiss, slap, kiss, isn't it? You know. They kiss you to say hello. They slap you in the middle of the news, and then they kiss you goodnight. And you smile. Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? Do you want a cup of tea, Tony? And that's it. We all go to bed happy. Surprised the government don't want to come and tuck us in. Okay. And cut our throats and tell us we look good in red. Why not? But we are, folks, at war. We are in. You see, the funny thing is, sometimes you don't realise you're in it. That's the deception. We are currently fighting World War III. It's just going to get a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger as it gets more and more and more established. But you see, they're doing it slowly, slowly. There used to be a saying, gently, gently catch a monkey. And slowly but surely, the areas of conflict of this world will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then there'll be a monumental battle, a final battle, folks. And it'll be in the Middle East. And it's a big battle, and the battle is for the Middle East, fundamentally this land plot. Okay. And they want their Babylon. I've said it before. That's what it's all about. This world will be run by the return of the fallen ones. And when you look at the footfall of where Babylon is, or used to be, they want it back. That will be their main area of world domination. That's where they're all planning to take residence, because that's where they started from. So, is there any? It's futile. You know, you may as well just go out tomorrow and forget everything. Just enjoy your life. Enjoy every heartbeat you get, every breath of air you get, and be grateful. And that's the state of play. Because there's very little you can do about it. And sometimes it's like being told you've got cancer. Sometimes it's probably best not to know. I hope you haven't. But would you want to know? What's the point of knowing? It's just going to depress you, isn't it? Sometimes people are best left in ignorance. But not sure what your take is on this. But there is a point. And the point is, just try and get through your day and look at the majesty and wonders that are around you and take your little pleasures one at a time. Okay? And remember them. And tomorrow have some more little pleasures. And inch by inch, go metric. Because you never know if it's going to be a last. Take wonder at looking how little insects, like ladybirds, why have they got spots? You see, there's so much that you don't know. How very day you start looking at things that when you should be right on your doorstep. And this has been pointed out to me before. You know, there's no point knowing all about that when you don't know about this and it's right in front of you. And that's so true. Because what we do, folks, is we get involved in other people's business. Well, it's mind your own business. Enjoy your life, enjoy your family, enjoy your time and your time with your family. And enjoy the hands you've got, because some people haven't got them. Enjoy your sight, your touch, your smell, your feelings. Enjoy your health while you have it and don't abuse it. But enjoy what is right around you and stop fretting about what the Rothschilds are doing, what Kissinger's doing and what Bush is doing. It doesn't matter, you'll never meet these people. What's the point? Go and find a ladybird and watch it and wonder how the hell it flies. What's the point of it having little shiny wings? What's the point of its existence? Look at a butterfly and wonder. That's what we're here for. We're here to show love and compassion and understand the environment we've got around us and nature. We're not here to war. We're not here to judge and fight and kill each other. We're here to understand what true appreciation and love each other and love the creatures that are here. Yet all we seem to want to do is shoot them and kill them and hunt them and rip them apart and get entertainment from them being in pain. And one of the most insidious countries in the world, Spain, well, same, almost, Spain, where they still do bullfighting. I never liked the Spanish particularly, not really, because you judge, it's like bear baiting, for the rich, isn't it? So how can you say that Spain is an advanced nation, it's a cultured people, when they quite blatantly abuse animals like that? Don't talk to me about culture. There's more culture in a bloody yogurt than there is in Spain. These ponces walking around, their little regalia, pretty boys all there, yeah, and they stick a spear into this bull. It makes me want to throw up. How can you take people, a society like that, seriously? Britain stopped bear baiting in the turn of the century because it's cruel. And this is what's wrong. We still can't differentiate between cruel, insane, stupid, immoral, unethical. We haven't quite got it yet. And there's not many out there, folks, I'm telling you, that can love indiscriminately. We can kill indiscriminately, but we can't love one another. We've got no reason to love him. You should. Because if you fall over in the street in front of him, you don't even know, he's going to get on his knees and going to try and find out what's wrong with you and help you up, maybe. Because we should all care for one another. This is what it's about. And if you can't care for your fellow human being, you don't deserve to be a human being. You're just human. You're not being human. You ever wondered why they call you a human being? Catch you tomorrow, folks, but have a think about that and vote against bullfighting. Write to your local Spanish embassy if there were such. Ole.